Interaction with students plays the most important role in determining success of the class, the student, and you. We have the best curriculum, the tools, and material, but without a positive interaction between the instructor, you, and the students, all goes for naught. Think about a favorite teacher or professor from, say, high school or college. What made them so special? Were they a person who helped math make sense to you? Or maybe they provided extra material or help on a particular subject. How about an Elmer? Have one of those? I think we all did, basically. That ham who went the extra mileage over there in getting you started in ham radio. Well, let's explore what it takes to build a meaningful, successful student-instructor relationship in LICW. Here's the challenge. How to keep the class members engaged from the onset, week to week in a Zoom environment. How to interact with students to make that happen. Well, as the old adage goes, first impressions are the most important. How do you present yourself when opening a meeting? Are you genuinely enthusiastic? Enthusiasm is the best aphrodisiac. It's infectious and often leads to a higher level of involvement and engagement both for you and the group. Those who demonstrate zest and enthusiasm bring an energy and level of intensity that promotes an atmosphere of learning. Let's take a look at some comments from the LICW instructors.
The thing that helps me relate to students is to ask them where they're at in their Morse code journey. The second question I ask is what frustrates them, if anything, in Morse code. And the third thing is what makes Morse code fun to them. And one other thing I often add in, but not right away, is why are you here? What are you after? And then I try to speak directly to each person's answers. And I try to make notes on what those answers were and use humor as much as possible. Although I'm certainly not a humorist, but then I can tailor my coaching to one or more students directly. That seems to take us away from the quote-unquote lecture and into the discussion of what could work for you and what worked for me.
To recap, greet each student individually before you begin. A quick hello to returning students. And give the new students a chance to say where they are in their CW journey and introduce themselves. In the beginning minutes of the class, how about a fun discussion as students are dropping in? Talk about any radio fun they've had over the last week. Think of this as a distraction for any nervous students and gets all into a kind of a relaxed mode. These few moments of hello and acknowledgement speaks to how they view you, your personality, and how you relate to them. Keep it light, fun, and most of all, supportive. And remember, students can do nothing wrong. No failures in the class, regardless. Be a co-traveler. Use empathy in relating to people directly as a friend and co-traveler along our CW skills journey. Share your experience in learning the code. Been there, done that, got the shirt. Reflecting on your own growing pains can really be comforting. And try to identify shortcomings and explain what the various causes are likely to be and what you found challenging yourself. Ask questions. Make a concerted effort to ask questions. Go for class interaction. Have students share problems and let them come up with a solution. Once you get students to open up about their problems, the group becomes self-stoking, and you get some real interaction. And that's when progress really starts to happen quickly. It's kind of like friends catching up on the day. A really good result. Again, why are you here? What do you hope to get out of the class?
Part of the problem that we have is, especially over Zoom, we have to try to make the process as active and interactive with the students as possible. And so I always try to open up a class session with a kind of an open-ended question of why are you here? Why do you want to learn CW? Where are you guys? Not to put anybody on the spot or anything of that sort, but to try to get a dialogue going with the students. And typically my class will have anywhere from 5 to 10 students involved. Getting them involved and answering a question and talking just a little bit. We try to establish the semi-informality aspects of the class. We don't want it to be too formal. We don't want it to be too informal. We want to make sure that we're communicating well. To me, communication is for the students to feel free, that they can ask a question, that they can get their needs and ideas and goals and objectives communicated, where I start a session off with.
And you continue from there, of course, and that just promotes the interactivity as it goes along from there.
Thanks, Gary. Use some humor to keep everybody upbeat and kind of laugh at yourself. Hey, if you mess up, admit it and move on. Hey, the CW police are out the door. Oh, boy. Admit that it's okay to mess up in class. In fact, it is required as a valid path to learning. Praise statements should be specific and genuine. It's helpful to tie praise statements to behavioral expectations to increase the likelihood that students will repeat the desired results. By focusing on what the students do correctly, students feel competent and confident about their ability to do what is expected. Using the student's name when making praise statements personalizes the message. Hey, you did a great job, Bob, copying that message. Keep up the good work. Pithy statements like good work are really not sufficient. And in addition, avoid the backhanded praise, such as, well, you didn't mess up as badly as you did yesterday. Such comments kind of lessen the desired outcomes. For any evaluation or criticism, try to use the sandwich method. That is, praise first, critique, and then praise again. Research shows that increasing positive interactions like praise statements and decreasing the negative interaction improves the climate as well as the student's success. Contacts outside of class can really be beneficial. Emails. Encourage the students to drop you a line if they're uncertain. One-on-one exchanges will give you insights that may be absent in class. Yes, it can really fill a mailbox, but hey, it's hard to beat the personal connection. Most of us seem quite willing to commit a lot of time to the students, and that is certainly appreciated by them. Use the clinic as a contact point, or possibly an on-air contact. All in all, that contact is so beneficial. In conclusion, review the thread that Mike and Howard uploaded to the CW Instructors Dropbox. Lots of your great comment and input is there. Check Gary's FOI, Fundamentals of Instructing. It's a super piece of what it takes to be a successful instructor in LICW. All the comment and material that we've presented here today comes from you, the LICW instructors. The 3 very good reasons for you to teach in LICW. It's because you love CW, you want to share CW, and you want to teach CW. Thanks again, everyone. Remember, without you, we certainly couldn't. 73's